welcome to weekly chat. I'm not going to call it midweek chat because I'm doing it at the end of the week, and again, it's one of those things where I just didn't have the time to do this video for Wednesday like most people do it with midweek chat, so I'm always going to call it weekly chat. I never know when I'm going to be able to check in with my thoughts on the 3 topics of the week, but I'm doing it nonetheless, and some really good topics this week as well. So I'll try and leave some links in the description below to people who have already done this video this week, including Ian Falkable, James DVD Collector, a new YouTuber who I'm a big fan of right now, Thomas Pollock. He also did one this week, and there's plenty of other people who do it as well. I mean, if you just go over to Ian, on Facebook, and James DVD Collector, they always spread all the links around. So anyway, let's get straight into the topics. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking to you about something in regards to Facebook. So I've got them here in my messenger. Do you have a ritual when getting ready to watch movies in your movie room or wherever you watch them? Not really, to be honest. I prefer to watch, a lot of people have been saying this week they like to watch the film in complete darkness and everything, close the curtains, shut the door, turn the light off. I do prefer to watch films like that, but it doesn't always work out that way because my fiance will be like, don't turn the light off, it's bad for your eyes, and so can't watch it with the light off. Sometimes we do, it depends really, but I don't like to have lights near the TV. Like, we have directional lights, and so I couldn't watch a film with the light pointed at the TV, or we have another lamp over by the sofa, and if it's on, you can see it reflect in the TV, and I just can't watch anything like that. It's too distracting for me. But anyway, that's not even besides the point. Ritual, not so much. Really, I like to have something to snack on, but sometimes I don't. Usually a drink, of water or squash, something like that, and that's about it really. I do watch films in bed a lot when I'm, like in the early hours of the morning. Well, not the early hours, but midnight through maybe 2 AM in the morning, I'll stick a film on when I'm lying in bed on my side with my laptop next to me. That's I watch a lot of films that way, but I don't like doing it because I prefer to watch it on our big 50-inch TV and get the full experience. But then when you're watching on like Netflix or something, or it depends what the film is, I guess, really. But yeah, I don't really have so much of a ritual, but I do like to have snacks and stuff, because that's kind of, I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's a weird thing, because I always get annoyed at people in the cinema who have snacks and food, and I just feel like saying, why don't you go eat in a fucking restaurant? And then I realise that I'm sat there with, some sweets or whatever, and but I always try and be very conscientious of what time to snack, in a theatre. And this is going off topic slightly, but I'm always one of those people who's got a bag of crisps and I'm reaching my hand in, and then a quiet scene comes on the screen and I go, and then an action scene comes on and I'm like, I always wait for the right moment. Some people don't give a flying fuck. They're just like, that's probably a really bad visual, but I hate, it really bugs me in the cinema, but I'm guilty of it at the same time. Well, guilty of eating, not guilty of making noise. I try and be conscious of the noise I'm making when I'm in a cinema. Again, I'm going off topic, whatever. I don't really have a set ritual. I just, it is what it is. The second question: in recent years, we've seen far more big-name film actors, quote-unquote, stepping down and appearing in TV shows. In the past, you would rarely see an A-list film actor in a TV show. And do you think this is a reflection on a lack of good films or a rise in the quality of TV? Bit of both, maybe. I could definitely. I guess the thing everyone's jumping to right now is True Detective, where you have a TV series that stars Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, who, I'd say maybe even 5 years ago you wouldn't really call. I guess Woody Harrelson has been quite a big name for quite a while, but Matthew McConaughey 5 years ago, you really didn't have much stock behind him. He's really had something of a renaissance to his career, over the past few years. Killer Joe and Dallas Buyers Club, Mud, which is an awesome film, and yeah, he's really just setting his career on fire and just really going for it now. He won the Oscar last year, and so I could definitely see why people are making that kind of not comparison, they're making that connection where they're like, oh, here's Matthew McConaughey, who's now this huge star, has reinvigorated his career and is now like a top guy in Hollywood, is now appearing on a TV show. And you could say maybe he's seeing people like Bryan Cranston doing Breaking Bad or whatever, and thinking maybe I should be doing something like that. But I think also you get more time to develop a story on a TV show than you do in a movie, and often that leads to much richer, rewarding stories to watch on screen. For me, I find it hard to watch TV shows these days because I always feel like I could be watching a couple of movies instead, you know. There have been exceptions to the rule, but you know, I only really keep up with The Walking Dead. Game of Thrones I fell behind on. I haven't seen any of the new season. But you know, for me, I don't watch too much TV because I find I'm very completist about things. I like to watch it from episode 1 to the end, and sometimes I can take up too much time for me when I'd rather be watching old movies or something like that. But I think it's a bit of both. You know, I think the TV is definitely getting much stronger. You know, with shows like Breaking Bad and True Detective. I haven't seen True Detective yet, and Sherlock. You know, I mean, as far as I've heard, Sherlock is like every episode's a movie. It's like an hour and a half. But yeah, Breaking Bad for me, just to sidestep a little, is, I mean, if Breaking Bad was a movie and it somehow encompassed everything that those, was it 60 odd episodes had into a movie, which would be impossible, but say that in theory it did, I couldn't not call it my favourite movie of all time, which is, you know, right now I could never see any movie beating my #1 movie, but Breaking Bad is just, for me, the best example of great acting I've ever seen. Just to echo the slightly what's the word I can use here? If anyone's seen the open letter that it wasn't open but it was shared, the letter that Anthony Hopkins sent to Bryan Cranston, or email he sent to Bryan Cranston praising Breaking Bad, almost, you know, to a fanboy degree. But I have to echo those sentiments. I really do think Breaking Bad is the best example of acting I've seen, particularly when it comes with Bryan Cranston, you know. And I just think that the whole package of Breaking Bad is far better executed than most of the films I've seen over the past 5-10 years. So, you know, I don't know why that is, why it's coming around now. I don't even think it's production value. I don't even think it's the money being spent. Because as far as I'm aware, Breaking Bad wasn't a highly expensive show to shoot. I just think it's one of those things now where maybe it's the talent realizing that they can maybe make more money. I don't know, maybe that, you know, that there is more artistic rewards to be reaped from being in a TV show and being in a story and becoming a character that has a lot more time to develop. I don't know, but I don't think, you know, films are getting worse. There's definitely great films out there, but I think you have to look harder than you did maybe 5-10 years ago. Third question, when you watch the first film of the series, and I'll use Harry Potter as the example, do you watch just the first film or do you have to watch the whole series? Also, can you watch a film in the middle of a series without watching the rest? This is Ian's topic, which he made sure I pointed out. I first thought that this meant, you know, could you watch a film in the middle of a series of films that you haven't seen any of them before, you know, without watching the first one? But when I watched people's videos, I realized that the main kind of question was, if you've already seen every film in a series of films, do you then feel like you can just watch the middle film and not watch the beginning or the end, or just watch one film out of the series and leave it at that? Like, you know, watch The Dark Knight and then that's it, you know, and you go on and watch more movies, or do you have to watch Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins? For me, no, I'm fine with it really. I mean, I could watch, you know, Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter, that was the example. I could watch that on its own, because I'm such a huge Harry Potter fan and I know those stories inside out. But trying to think of another example. Star Wars, I can watch Empire Strikes Back on its own. You know, I can watch Return of the Jedi on its own. But I am one of those people who does like to watch, you know, the other ones. I'm not too completist about it. But when it comes to a series of films I've never seen before, that's a whole different story. I remember Star Trek. I really wanted to see the J.J. Abrams movies from 2009 and 2013. But in fact, Connie, my fiancée, she wanted to watch Into Darkness, and I was like, I can't watch that. I haven't seen the first one. And she said, oh, it doesn't matter. I was like, no, I can't watch Into Darkness without watching the 2009 film. And so she said, okay, we'll watch the 2009 film then. And I was like, well, kind of want to watch like the other 15 films first. I mean, I'd seen most of the early Star Trek films as a kid, bits of them. My stepdad was a huge Star Trek fan, but I felt like I had to go back to Star Trek the motion picture, and then do Wrath of Khan and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then watch the J.J. Abrams films. But then it just became too unfeasible. I wasn't that interested in it, so we ended up watching Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, which I guess is okay because it's like a reboot, even though it works into even though it works into the older films and the the pre-existing canon. But I feel like I kind of do need to see them, like the Planet of the Apes series. I watched the first one, I think back in April, something like that, and loved it. And I wanted to see the rest of them, and I'd have to watch it in order, obviously. But I don't know. Yeah, I can't watch a series of films and start with like a sequel for me if I've never seen them before. But if it's a series I've seen before, I'm not too fussed. I mean, Lord of the Rings, I suppose I could just watch The Two Towers on its own, but luckily my favourite film from The Lord of the Rings is the first one, so I just keep watching the first one. I've seen Fellowship of the Ring maybe 10-15 times, whereas Two Towers I've probably seen maybe 5, 6, 7 times, and The Return of the King I've probably only seen like twice or 3 times, I don't know. So I don't know what that says about me, but for me, I just love the first one better. It depends on the series, it really does. I'm trying to think of other examples. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, well, they're not really kind of numbered sequels unless you go to the individual characters. Anything else I can think of? Batman. I don't know. I should be thinking of far more film series in my head. No, not really. I'm alright with it, really. It's as long as I've seen all the other ones, I can pick my favourite sequel and watch it. But usually, it always ends up that the first film is your favourite, or maybe the second one. So I don't really run into that problem too much. So those are my 3 topics, my 3 answers for the 3 topics. Great topics, by the way. And I'll try and keep up this weekly chat every week. I've just been kind of wiped out this week from doing my Akira Kurosawa skit and video for the Blu-ray Brothers channel this week. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. The Blu-ray Brothers on YouTube. I had a fun little skit with me chopping a Blu-ray disc in half with a sword. If you want to see that, go check out the Blu-ray Brothers channel. We have a Facebook page also. And speaking of Facebook, to close out this video, I haven't done it yet, but if I commit this to video now, then I have to do it. I'm going to make a Facebook account. I don't know what I'll call it yet. Maybe it'll be Luke RazorwireReviews Ryan or something. It'll be a separate Facebook account than my personal Facebook account, which I will use to update you with when my videos go up, to talk about films with you guys. You can comment and like and stuff. I'll be posting pictures, things like that, because the Facebook pages, they're just no good anymore, and they haven't been for a while. I have my RazorwireReviews page. I think I have about 158 likes on it, about. Sounds like I track it by the number. But yeah, you post something, and not all 158 people who like the page get to see it. And it tells you how many people your post has reached, and it usually is like 28 people, 17 people. So, unless I pay money to boost every single individual post, you're not all going to see what I'm posting. It's like potluck, basically. And so I'll post like the thing, oh, what do people think about this? And no one replied because no one really sees it. So if I make a personal profile and make that my RazorwireReviews Facebook, then you can add me on there as a friend. And if I've done it, by the time this video goes up, I'll leave a link to the profile down below, and you can click on that. You can add me as a friend. I'll accept you. I'll accept anyone. And yeah, it'll just be like the Facebook fan page, but I hate to call it a fan page, but it's what it is, I guess. And yeah, that'll kind of replace the Facebook page. I'll still use it for anyone who just wants to stay liked to that page and doesn't want to add me, on Facebook. That's fine. I'll still use both, and it'll be a hassle, honestly, to sign in and out all the time. But I think this would be a better way for people to kind of know when my videos are going up and stuff like that, and it'll be just easier to use, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what James does with his DVD Collector Facebook page. So yeah, I can just dedicate it completely to my YouTube channel and not bother any of my family who aren't interested in my videos, and then I can keep my personal page as my personal page with just, because I get a lot of requests. Every week I get at least 5 requests from, I'm assuming, YouTubers, because they're always friends with some other YouTubers who I personally know. And I never accept them because I just don't know who. I don't know if you're one of those people. I don't know who you are. If I've seen your videos, it's a different thing. But I don't just accept all the. So don't take it any personal offense. It's just I don't know who you are, so I don't really accept them. So this will be, if anyone wants to do that, then check out that link. Anyway, thanks for watching this weekly chat. Hopefully I'll do another one next week, and I'll get out in the middle of the week like everyone else. We'll see what happens with that. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and Give me your thoughts on the 3 topics if you feel like it in the comments down below. You don't have to make a video, you can just reply with the comment what you think about the 3 topics discussed. And yeah, make a video if you want. That's what this whole thing is about, is bringing the community together. Anyway, I'll see you with the next video.
He says he's really cool, but I think he's a tool. Even though I'm sure he's a quite nice guy, really. He's a quite nice guy, really.